Hello, everyone. Nice to see you, I can't say anything. Holy moly. Welcome back to Spyrothon. Or, it never ended. My brain's not working. How about I just start playing? Welcome to Spyro 3 149 egg. I'll get into it a little bit as we go on, but for now, we will be starting in... I'll count it off when. Don't worry about it. I'll just do it the way that I was discussing. It's been running since 2015. Holy moly! Oh, okay. So we will start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. So, for those of you that know or that don't know anything about this category, this is essentially the all main collectibles category of Spyro 3, in which I will just be going out of my way to collect every egg in the game, outside of the one that you get from 100%ing everything else. So there's a lot of weird and interesting tricks that you don't really get to see in any other category in this one. A lot of proxies, a lot of out of bounds, a lot of various stuff that you don't usually get to see. So as discussed in Spyro 2, very similar mechanics in Spyro 3. We have ways to force yourself outside of enemy hitboxes via these proxies, which we'll be seeing a few different kinds of ones. We'll be seeing ones off of like enemy animations. We'll see ones off of dead characters, maybe even some living character hitboxes. Overall, they should spice up the run in various ways as time progresses. With this being said, this is a character that I should not be able to play as yet, but luckily loading zones in this game are very interesting, where loading zones tend to bleed outside of areas that they're supposed to be at, allowing for entering some areas that are not supposed to be reached yet. I can discuss Sheila a little bit later, but we're not going to be seeing too much of her right now. Coming up, I have 3 attempts at this proxy to get to the end of the level. And then we have everyone's favorite challenge, skateboarding. Yep. Well. This one was good enough. So for 149 egg, it's since we don't need to worry about gems, we're actually just going to be doing the same route through skateboarding twice. And I'm opting for a slower route because the fastest route is extremely difficult. Instead, we're opting for the slightly faster of the 2 routes done in 117. Due to using this route, and because of the way that the lizards work though, the 2 lizards up top here act differently during Lizards 1 compared to Lizards 2. I mean, this kind of is the Nitroff route. Is it not? I feel like it is. I feel like I recall it being something like that. Oh, nice. I missed. Let's just try that again. There we go. So same old for the next one. Pretty simple stuff. I don't know if there's a U route. This does look like task gameplay, yeah. Yeah, of course.
All right.
The route from 23. No, it is not the faster one. There's one that ZBM made a couple years back that is just insanely difficult. That is barely RTA viable. This being said, I am absolutely mucking up this route. I actually have different routes in the Reignited trilogy, though. Some stuff that I've had to look for. Yeah, except for the missing the lizard part. I've been pretty good at the whole missing the lizard part. I can go into Cloud Spires next. Cloud Spires is interesting in the fact that it's exactly the same as it is in the original. Or, like, exactly the same as it is in 100 Egg. We collect every egg anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Essentially, I'm going to be sitting here a lot of this time rambling for a solid 2 hours as I try to figure out what I'm wanting to say. I've already shown that I've been doing that the first 5 minutes so far. So this is going to be a very fun 2 hours. Let's go for this once, just for the heck of it. Twice, for good measure. Limo. Very difficult right there. The whole route was based around going in the tunnel only once. In 117, I think it was, yeah. I think in Dom's route, you actually enter the tunnel. Not in this other secondary route. So back there was more evidence of portal loading zones bleeding out a little bit further than they really should. Once again, very common thing in this game. It's used in a lot of different categories for different areas. In the first place, it's not particularly difficult to get out of bounds in this game anyway. So, like, even then, it's not a huge deal whether loading zones bleed out or not. Also, fun fact, this is, I'm pretty sure, the only level that you can skip cutscenes with triangle. Every other level that has cutscenes, you skip them with start. This one, no, you can do it with triangle. I apparently screwed up the setup there. It's supposed to be a nice setup for this thief. He's not supposed to run over there. And then you can get him immediately off of a turn. That wasn't horrible, though. I think what happened was I went too far outwards. So jumping into that pause screen there actually gives you some upwards momentum as you're exiting the side area, allowing you to start gliding a lot earlier or a lot higher up once you exit the side area, allowing us to skip up to the top area of this level. And with that, we are leaving Cloud Spires. So one nice thing about this category, compared to like Reignited Trilogy, for example, is, as I said before, it's very easy to get out of bounds, and a lot of things are stored out of bounds. Meaning, overall, gems are pretty much a non-issue in this category. We have a couple things that we need to pay for, but it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme, because the times that we do have to pay, we already have a surplus of gems from speedways. Yeah, that was really sketchy. Here's our first instance of swim and air in the run. I'm not sure if it was completely explained in Spyro 2? It probably was, but I can still reiterate. The way that water works in this game, it's a two-dimensional plane, usually horizontal. And if you end up accessing this plane from slightly underneath it or any way like that to trick the game into having your character enter the trigger without exiting it, you can trick the game into giving you a swim state where there isn't any water. You do sorceress early and end on the 149th egg. It's always been that way. Because otherwise you'd be forced to do the sorceress twice due to Bug Bot Factory. Anyway, welcome to the one of the few instances of Sheila in this game. There's not really anything remarkable to say about her. She kick, she do stuff. There's some movement such as kick cancel high jumps. Very, very interesting and hard to work out movement tech at times because it's very timing based, very specific, very small windows. And each one of them is different based off of how high you need to jump. So it's like more than anything, they're like frame savers, but they're very difficult frame savers overall. So shoutouts to Jeremy. Shoutouts to Jeremy Thompson for the new reroute here. We actually do Molten Crater last now, due to the fact that the boulder is sitting in the back. And it's not really something that occurred to me for a while. The fact that that would probably be faster. It's probably only like a second faster or something, but it's still something, so might as well put in the free time save. We're gonna try to go for a proxy off of this seashell Rhinoc here. We'll actually be proxying off of the Rhinoc's hitbox forming. Nice, I actually got it. So this completely changes the route of this level.
The tunnel is chock full of Rhinocs and floating monsters.
Usually you'd be going through this level in a very forward fashion. Instead, well, we're doing the opposite. I don't think that proxy actually saves that much time in a category like this, but regardless, it's an interesting thing to show off. So I'm happy that I actually got that. I'm usually really bad at that proxy in particular. Now I actually can't remember what order you grab these two eggs. So I'm going to grab N level first, and then I'm going to make my way up to Bluto. Yeah, if it wasn't for Sandcastle sub area, it would save more. For sure. Sorry, just trying to concentrate while I do this fight. I haven't really been doing this fight properly in a while. So just making sure I kind of have it down. It's good. Shoot. Both can be kind of annoying to control. That was better than most of my other attempts in the past, so... Or while I was practicing this, so I'm okay with that, I guess. I'm not super well practiced in this game because I've been busy working on Reignited.
Oh, hi, Spyro.
Coming up here, we have a... I think it's a double frame perfect trick that I'll just try for the heck of it. Yeah, no, absolutely nothing from that. It involves hitting the shoulder buttons twice at very specific times. And if you get it correctly, you'll actually be able to just walk straight out of the tunnel. To be honest, I don't even know why I was saying I was going for it. I never get it. I get the camera change sometimes. But I've never been able to get the walking. And I don't know if anyone has gotten it aside from Nerf once? I think Nerf has gotten it once, and I think that's it. We had a nice, simple little out of bounds there. It doesn't save too much time. It also makes the game slightly more likely to crash during the sandcastle area, but only if you... Actually, it makes it a lot more likely unless you do the entire sandcastle in a specific way, which I obviously did the way to avoid the crash. Time for boring level. You're going to see a decent bulk of this run be in speedways due to the fact that speedways, in the first place, are long in this game due to races. Is it a single frame perfect 60 FPS button press? Which means that it's possible half the time. I've been really bad at this jump lately. You saw the nice terrain jump, you saw what I was going for. I missed. Oh well. I'm doing a lot of missing right now. It's always possible. I have to press the shoulder buttons precisely for half a visual frame. Oh, okay. So races in this, as far as like the premise is concerned, are probably some of the most boring parts of the entire run. But if you're a runner, you're trying to optimize these, it becomes one of the most tense sections of the entire run. Because a lot of times you're doing strats that if you screw up slightly, you're losing. You're losing the race. Just straight up. So I'm probably just going to be concentrating for the rest of this. Okay, that scared me. Ring hitboxes surprise me to this day. Oh no, I would care to admit that I've lost a fuckload of races to speedways. or like a ton of runs to speedway races. Everyone's just too adamant about going for strats. That was a cool charge jump right there. I just shout outs to that charge jump.
Whoa!
Wow, I'm used to Reignited Trilogy. So I'm actually playing on the 1.0 version of this game, which features less songs, but allows me to exit speedways out of hunter challenges, which adds up and saves, I think it's like 3 or 4 seconds every speedway, something around those lines. There's also a couple of other things with it. An out of bounds portion, Evening Lake, is a bit lower, but you won't really see me dealing with that. Doesn't really matter in this category. Right here we have the first main animation proxy, which I will try to go for again if I get this Death Abuse. Okay. We good. And try again. This proxy's easy, man. You literally just press like 3 buttons. I don't know what's going on. There we go. So I use that to skip past the money bags door. I need to make sure I'm staying calm and collected because I started kind of freaking out there. I get nervous with this kind of stuff, man. Especially when I'm sitting here for 2 hours all by myself. But hey, I'm trying. I am trying my darndest. Another instance of bleeding load zones right here. They just made that load zone absolutely massive, allowing you not to have to worry about buying a certain bird that... Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Where did he come from? Movement with this character is very interesting. You just strafe all the time, because normal movement with this character is terrible. Strafing, however, holding strafe, you can actually control where this bird moves. Funny how that works. With the deficit of not really being able to see where you're going. Just about done with Sunrise. And we get to move on to some interesting stuff in Midday. First of all, we have an interesting Sparks area, and we have Bubba Zebas. OG edition this time. I'm still not used to hearing that guy say, "Let's head over to the balloon." It just doesn't sound right to me. I'm used to hearing a seal.
Listen carefully, you.
So Buzz visually in this category is kind of uninteresting, but there's a lot of like interesting technical stuff that tends to go around with this fight. There's a lot of specific, semi-specific positioning, a lot of camera movement, just to make sure that Buzz can do as little as possible. So I'm standing near the edge here to try to stop his buzzsaw attack, and then I move the camera away from Buzz to make sure that he can't use his fire. From that, it makes the boss just super trivial. Excuse me. And we have one more matter to attend to. We have the Sparks level, in which I don't have as much health as I was hoping.
Spyro.
That's okay. That's fine. We're just going to eat up this wall anyway. So it turns out with some of the Sparks levels with angled walls,
Looks like you're ready.
if you just kind of press the strafe button over and over again, yeah, that was cool. That was exactly how you're not supposed to do that. If you just press strafe a bunch of times up against certain angled walls, Sparks will just scale up them. It's very convenient for some certain levels, certain sections. Sadly, there isn't any in the main area of Crawdad Farm, though. All of the other Sparks areas actually have different, varying kinds of out of bounds that can be done, though. Whether it's involving the new method or it's a method that was already found a while ago. Regardless, to say this is the longest of all of the Sparks areas in the game, in terms of 149 egg. Oh. Wow, I was slow. Usually if you're fast enough, you're able to kill both of the crabs there. Also, the most important thing about the Sparks areas is making sure that you end up going into them with this machine gun power-up that you were seeing me use, the green butterfly. Just because it is easily the quickest thing to mow down the bosses. So if I'm able to, I will usually try to go out of my way to get one before a boss, but you'll only see me actually do it for two of the boss fights, which is that one and later on in Starfish Reef. Next trick coming up here is Bridge Swim, and we will be combining it with a few other things before entering Sergeant Bird. Alright, that went smooth enough. Going to bust down these first couple pots. We specifically wanted to make sure that last pot stays unbroken for making the return trip, because we are going to try to combine both this egg cutscene with opening up Enchanted Towers, which I got. Cool. That setup was really sketchy, but it worked, so whatever. Now I want to plug in my headphones so I don't get beeped at eventually. So I'm gonna take a moment, retract away from the run a little bit. How's everyone's night? How's everyone doing? I'm hoping they're having a good weekend. Hope everyone is having a good time.
So, Sir, devrait...
Because, you know, sometimes even the runner wants to forget that they are playing a video game. Not enough Spyro TBH. Yeah, you right. So right there, I specifically aimed for that guy because he ends up bringing the bird, Gabrielle, all the way over to the end of the level. He's just the enemy queue that helps her decide to finish the level. That being said, there's some weird triggers that cause her just to stay back anyway. I don't know if we completely worked out the system, if it's like you're moving too fast or it hopes that a specific enemy is also killed. But regardless, sometimes she gets stuck. So you have to return back, and then she will finish the level. I'll now be grabbing one of these sets of bombs. I'm going to specifically use up 3 of them, because there's something neat that I want to be able to show off. If you're standing on ground that is about to be broken, this happens. Just kidding, nothing happened. That was epic. I don't know why that didn't explode. Good video game, might I say. This is why you should actually carry more bombs. Oh well. I wanted to show this off, so I'm going to show it off. Okay. Second time. Since there's no floor beneath you and the game has determined you as grounded, it sends you to the nearest ground. So it just down warps you. I don't really think it saves much time. It's more of just like this interesting little thing that I might as well show off while I'm there. Be going for another proxy at the start of this level. If I get a big enough croc proxy at the start here, I'll be able to do a... Actually, saying that I'm going to do a different route isn't exactly correct. I would just be able to get up there earlier. Didn't happen anyway. Cool game. That's random if that happens. I also should be dead right now. Saving yourself from that water does not happen. Regardless, that tree's hitbox doesn't exist past a certain height, so we're able to abuse that to get into here without actually flaming all of the candles. There's also another thing I could go for in this fight that I'm probably not going to go for safety reasons. It saves a very small amount of time anyway. Yeah, that was cool. I can aim. I could have gone and accessed this egg slightly earlier, and then the game would automatically eject me out of the side area. But to avoid any chance of falling into the water and risking a soft lock, I didn't want to do that.
This swamps.
Now we have the most intense mission. This mission actually is very intense in 117, since you tend to one-cycle it, grabbing every gem along the path. Well, when you're in 149 egg, and gems aren't a matter, you can just kind of lazily go through this. Abuse the abilities of analog stick and just move. This challenge, though, in like 117 actually, though, is super tight and can be quite difficult. A major point to lose a lot of time in 117 rounds. You can also lose a lot of time in this category if you end up screwing them up. But usually as long as you're just kind of following the Firefly and vaguely know where it's going to go, it's not a huge deal. Oops, I went boom again. Orbital strike. Shoutouts to this mushroom. The only too high mushroom. It doesn't even get crossed over by anything, it's just there. Whee! Just a little goofy thing that helps put the camera in the right place in the first place. And also is caused from coincidentally messing with the camera. Let's see if... Nope. Crawdad's not in a good spot. If that Crawdad's in like the perfect spot, you can actually use it to proxy over here. Coming up in Bamboo Terrace is the first and I think the only instance of a squeeze proxy during this run, where I will be jamming Spyro into a small space. The game will not like it, and it will send him out of the small space. Usually an analogy that we like to throw out there involving this is like, if you take a bar of soap, and then you don't do anything with it. I'll be going for one later, actually, in Enchanted Towers. It's like, if you take a bar of soap in your wet hand and you squeeze hard enough, the soap usually flies out of your hands. It's a very similar kind of thing to that. Nice wall. Wonder when they built it. Luckily in this game, you don't need to worry about the pandas. You can just swim right over. So I'm not used to doing this this route for the level. I'm used to getting boulder proxy, so this is kind of weird. Yeah, Spyro is soap. There's another swim and air spot right there, and funny enough, the game stores the thieves' egg just right underneath that bridge, so we're able to nab it before the thief is ever spawned. Which, thank goodness, that thief is extremely annoying to get. and we'll now be going into the first of 4 Bentley sections in this run. There's also not really anything special to say about Bentley. He's got a big icicle. He's a big boy. You hit things with him. There's some damage abuses if your RNG is good. He punches another Yeti in the face sometimes. I don't know, it's pretty cool. You should have seen it. And we did get good RNG. Nice. Lastly, we have boats. We have the boat semi-auto scroller. This is supposed to be an auto scroller, but there's a few things that have been found more recently with it over like the last year or two, where you can actually kill, I think, actually all of the Rhinox from the bridge phase of this during the second go around. You can kill them on the first go around. I don't know how to do all of it though, so I'm just going to go for the first half. Or, I guess the second half. Got one. Got the other one. That's usually like the major part that I go for in it. I can hope that I'll get one more like right here, but I pretty much never get this guy. Oh, I actually did get him. So that was a really good boat section.
Please take.
At least for my standards. I'm sure Nerf has gotten better ones. Just because he actually set up to get every single one of those Rhinox ahead of time. Coming up next, we have what I call probably the hardest level in the run. Mostly because I'm dumb and incorporated strats that you should never go for. I incorporated a bunch of bone dance strats into 149 egg. We'll be going for this. Yo, that was cool. Just joking, we're not doing any of those strats anymore because the proxy didn't work. So now we just get to do very normal stuff. I usually have a nice setup there. It involves doing a death abuse off of an egg. It involves doing that proxy off the jackhammer guy twice. It's a very interesting route. It's also very difficult to do. And I've only managed it a handful of times. So it would have been cool if I got to show it in any capacity, but too bad. If anyone was around for my Reignited Trilogy Spyro 3 any percent run earlier in the day, I mentioned how nice that skateboarding section is in that game. And the reason why is because the skateboarding section in this game is not that great. It's very slow. It's extremely slow. You can't skip any of the cutscenes. You can't really shorten any of the jumps to any drastic amount. Except for the last one. The last one you can do some stuff with. And there's also this one. This one has some cool stuff. Hey look, I did a 180. Yo, what's up, Humdongarino?
Now that.
Here's probably the hardest part of this, just making sure that you end up getting this jump right here. I actually got that. I am very surprised.
Wow. You. I'm thinking you're ready. All right. Whoever scores the most points.
So I think I need to get like, I think it's 4,223 or something. I have to get more than that, so I'm doing 3 nasty norks. And I think we're just gonna chill. I think we're gonna chill. Now I'm just kind of feeling the chill. Oh, me too, ZL. You be chilling. You also get to watch Hunter go absolutely insane. I don't know if he's already done it, but he's got some speed on him at times. I think he might pick it up right here. That's... How do you get up there? Oh, there's a ramp back there, never mind. I think it's right here in particular. He goes down this ramp, and there's... He just fucking flies. Look at that. Look at him go. Which spot do I think this is? I want to say it's that. That might be that one. No, it's this one. It's this one back here. I was a little off. You never remember relatively where the egg spawns. So I always try to get it this get like a setup to make it just look like the egg is skateboarding for whatever reason. Just kind of a goofy thing I like to set up every time. Welcome to the doggo escort mission, in which I won't be escorting the doggo. Instead, I will just be failing flame charge jumps for 3 minutes. Oh yeah, dude, the hundo egg race that's happening pretty soon, that's gonna be extremely hype. I got first try casual jump. That's good. Usually call that casual jump just because it makes it easier to get that jump if you go at it as if you're not even trying to hit the button, really.
Hey!
You just kind of take it as slow and steadily as possible. And that makes it easier to hit the button for whatever reason. Yeah, nice.
I'm ready. It's good to be back at.
I mean, you could set a hotkey for the Horaro. You're just about finished with our bone dance run. Only took a good 50 minutes. Might be a little slow on the leaderboards. I think the world record's 9:20 something. Not maybe below that even. Actually, I think it's like a 9:17. I haven't looked in the longest time.
Here.
Yep, we got OG 40 orb next. And we got 100 egg. And I think it's any percent? Got a lot of Spyro 3 coming our way fairly shortly. 49.19? Okay, good. It's a that's a good command. Exclamation point dong. Welcome to Spicy Leak, where I will fail to jump to the end of the level until I game over. Toto Zigam patented setup was set up. Works every time except for when you're in a marathon. Alright, second try, I'm okay with that. I can't believe that worked. That was so sketchy. This thief is cool though. You just get him to respawn as many times as you want there. As long as you mess around with the camera. A lot of things, Spora. We had a cool little trick coming up here that you don't really... It's not in any other category in this game, actually. We generally call it JT wallhack. You can abuse the fact that the shots of this camera go through the wall and shoot the ice walls around here. There we go.
Step right. I always knew you were a cultured sort of dragon.
Yeah, that's the only spot that you're able to really do those.
Tonight is my
The other option is to death abuse, and then the ice walls go away, but the cannon is generally slightly faster. Or it is slightly faster if you can do it quick enough. You're missing out, Hum. This is the best Spyro 3 category. Don't at me. It is old. It is old. I gotta admit. I don't know why I started calling it JT Wallhack, to be honest. And I never said that it was new or old, so... Don't mess with me.
We did it.
Now all we have left are a couple of skips that I usually find fairly annoying in Icy Peak. We have a particular wall glide coming up. Not that one. I failed that one anyway. And there's also a spin jump off of the pedestal here. Spin jump off of the ice statue thing, ice crystal. There. Second try, I'm okay with that. Hopefully, if I actually practice more. If I'm able to practice more. If I don't submit, or if I don't get 5 speedruns into 2 marathons next time.
Let's head up.
You see, that's where I'm gonna have to cut the line. Because Spyro 2, 100% is the only category worth running to be quite H.
My tech.
Honestly, SBR is one of my favorite levels in 117 in terms of running. Like, SBR at top level is pretty insane. Yeah, for sure. Spyro 2 has Bingo going for it, and Bingo is some good shit. Even Yeti Race is kind of interesting, but I can understand not liking it for sure. So we actually skipped out on the Speedway there at first. I'm going to be doing Speedway soon. I'm not gonna lie, I think I would rather do 14 tally than 3 any. Just saying a lot from me. I do not like 3 any anymore.
Hi, Spyro.
It's going to take a lot of work for me to like 3 any again. So does yours, Zio. Yeah, you too, Spora. So I actually did these in the wrong order. I was supposed to do Country Speedway first. It's fine. It's fine, though. To answer why we're joking around with each other is Zachary Lawrence Spore and I all share. We share a tie on the 14 tally leaderboards. We all have 28 24s along with 3 other people. There's a 6-way tie that all have 28 24s and 14 tally. So make sure to join in on that tie if you can. That's where the cool kids hang out at. I think it is. Oh, not in all of speedrunning. In a category like this, yeah. Oh, good. You're going to do it with Sproder and the Ripto, though, and that's going to be even more hilarious. I mean, I don't explicitly want to advocate someone into running 14 again. I would say that you should still, Yeah, I did get called out. I did do it on purpose. I did pause my game for like the last 15 minutes of my, or 15 seconds of my run. 15 minutes? Holy moly. I would have A 13. Was yours not actually on purpose, DL? I thought you were trying to go for a 28, 24. Did you just like happen to get it while you were grinding for it? You wanted a 27? Well, it's too late. You can't go for it anymore. It's too late. You're done with the category. You can't play it again. Or if you do, you can't submit it to the leaderboards. That would ruin our image. Yeah, I've kind of thought of doing something like that as well. If I ever want to actually do another run.
Spyro.
This version is so quiet. On Reignited Trilogy, when you're doing this challenge, every single one of these cowboys yeehaws. Yeah! I've been caught. I've been caught being an American. I didn't want that to show on stream. I actually kind of hurt my throat.
We got the.
So I hope you guys weren't bored of speedways, because we got another one coming up, like right now. Usually I do Country Speedway and then Spider Town and then Honey Speedway, to at least give me, you know, like that 1 to 2 minute break. But I kind of screwed up the route. That was a pitiful yeehaw. I'm sorry, I live in an apartment with other people and I'm nervous about getting too loud. I am a very self-conscious individual.
Listen to me, Dre.
I mean, yeah, I'll agree SRT sucks. But I wasn't even going into it to feel that nostalgic feeling. I just think it sucks. It's more of as a speedrun. Hot take, I know. Why do I run it then? It's something different. I like things that are different. Every single time I forget that that guy is that low. I misinterpreted. There we go. Someday, like 10 or 15 years from now, I will finally know which flower petals to jump off of. He's right here. Enjoy the longest race in this section. I'm hoping to do Splash Truck though. Hoping to. It probably will be an absolute train wreck like last time, but hopefully I'll be on more sleep than last time. Speaking of which, 2 days before Splash Recta, which is on the 28th, mind you, I'm planning on doing something as a stream anniversary. I'll be on the 26th for my 6-year streaming anniversary. I am planning to do an HD Splash Recta. So this is going to meld together as a fantastic week where I will be absolutely dead. Yo, what's up, Mikey Pick? That's a name I haven't seen in a hot minute. You came in right at the most boring part of the run. Alright, just mindlessly talk about random things while I'm going through circles. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thanks. We got a neat thing that we get to show off in the next egg, actually. I will be making sure to go out of my way to set it up. Because it's always something good to set up during these reset lists. I didn't go through this circle. Sure I did. Do you have proof? I didn't see a picture. No pics, no proof. So the game doesn't expect you to hit 5 objects really quickly in this. Out of the required 6 hits you can take. We're just going to set that up real quick. It first of all causes the UFO to decide to speed on ahead without you, for reasons unknown. But don't worry, it makes a comeback. Oh, there he is. Look at him. But wait, I think he's coming around the corner. shoot. I'm bad. There. Yeah, meatballs and sausage is a great challenge. That is the official name of that challenge, by the way. Don't anyone disprove that. It is called meatballs and sausage.
Spyro.
Nice. I'm actually not super used to those proxies still. Getting one of those is nice. Yeah. The UFO actually makes the challenge faster. If you set up in a tasking scenario. Whoa, okay. It's a little too high for me. Should I show off something goofy here? I kind of want to.
With a bag of gems. He said they were magic.
I think I might.
Do anything. You can have a couple if you like.
Why do I go back for this if I'm doing the spin jump? Is it just in case I decide I don't want to do the spin jump? That's a couple of neat movement bits that kind of come into this challenge. You got spin jumps, which is abusing Spyro's oblong hitbox to force himself up onto objects by spinning. And the other thing are these shroom boost jumps, which is holding down charge jump and letting go of charge at a specific time while it's coming up, which allows you to get more height than the game intends. Well, what we'll be doing here is we'll be breaking this open. Say goodbye to Jack, everyone. He's going down the hole. Goodbye. Why'd I get rid of that seed? This is a bad idea. So, I need to actually get back in there now. And, purposely wasted a bunch of time because this run is already bad, but I thought that would be a cool thing to show off there. And still talk to him, still get the egg.
At last.
Okay, let's go for a proxy here. Nice.
Good day,
You're the dragon. This is the third one. Alright, so there's this wonderful setup here.
So,
Really only involves getting the first shot there, and then it's just hitting all of these wizards right when they spawn. Very nice. Don't need to worry about the challenge, just need to worry about timing. Which I can't even seem to do.
I must admit.
Yeah, this is Spyro Year of the Dragon, the third Spyro game, which came out for the Sony PlayStation 1 in the year 2000.
You did.
Developed by Insomniac.
Oh,
Kept the bird characters still. Oh, are you talking about in Hero's Tale? Because Hero's Tale was after, and they kept them? I'm confused. Well... Oh, people are ready for more skateboarding. So we got some of that coming. Also got another trick with the cannon coming up here. Oh crap. V-Snake, that means that we're only running Spyro 3 during it.
Be careful.
So we got a nice little trick right there. A certain cannon jump. Yes, this game came out in the year 2000. Hero's Tale came out like back in... It came out in like 2004 or something. This game is like a good 4 years older.
Spyro.
Oh, 05? I don't remember. It's way after though. 2016. Yeah, man. So I did a trick back there with the cannon, which we simply call cannon jump, where we end up getting the cannons to a specific height, usually denoting that by the number of clicks that they make from bottom position. And we use that ability to jump on top of the cannon's nozzle to gain some extra height to reach areas that we aren't supposed to. There's certain strats that can be used in different levels with it as well, but this is easily the most important level for them. I don't know if asking a marathon where we're featuring a bunch of games is the right area to ask what our favorite Spyro game is. This is a big featuring system where we're doing a bunch of speedrun related things for Spyro. So we got a bunch of stuff planned up if you would like to look at that.
Yeah.
Blink is absolutely terrible,
Now that the Rhinox.
by the way.
Eat my skate dust, sucker.
I sound like a real daddy. I'm sorry. I'm only 22. I shouldn't sound like a daddy. I hope I don't. I'm still in college. Oh no. I don't want this. Can't I just settle with looking like Jack Black? WedSR games. No. I think most of us here end up preferring, or like most of the vocal people around here end up preferring the original 3 games. We're also heavily biased though. Also, I shouldn't really be speaking for the entire group, because that's just not fair. Alright, so to say the least, we've been doing this level a little bit out of the order that we're supposed to. So we're going to make up for that with the fact that I didn't break open the wall previously by making sure that Crazy Ed is over here. We're going to do that by doing a quick death abuse. Oh, that didn't work. That also didn't work. I'm doing a speedrun of this game where I try to do some specific goals as fast as I can. And I'm also collecting eggs as the main thing of this. I'm collecting all 149 main eggs in this video game as fast as I can. By any means necessary. Any means necessary inside of the game. Needed to rephrase that.
Alrighty then.
Now expect me to bumble around as an idiot while I'm trying to remember how to use the sub.
The torpedo will start to lock on. If you get a good lock on, fire away with the circle button.
This is shared. The channel is shared. It is a marathon event. Yes, that is me. That's fair. There's a lot of people that get confused when they start seeing speedrunning things. What is my favorite proxy that is useful in this category? What am I doing? That was a massive waste of time. My favorite proxy in this category has probably got to be the turtle proxy in the slide area of Crystal Islands.
Press the X button to speed on up. And when you get a sub in your sights, the torpedo will start.
So ignore what just happened there. This is actually my first time entering the subs area. I didn't just exit without collecting an egg or anything. Because I was being brainless. Any category, that's it. That's my favorite one. Okay, Desert Helmet Proxy is really good too. I like Desert Ruins Helmet Proxy. Yeah, it's like one of those two. Gust Proxy is also pretty high up there, but that's not actually used in anything. You know, sometimes I don't like to question game logic. I just assume it just works.
Well, I hate to...
It just works. He just fits. Spyro is also Babby. Your favorite is Trihex Proxy? Fun fact, if you look at the back cover of the Spyro 1 manual, there is actually an adult version of Spyro. He's never been in an actual game, but he exists there. Yeah, this is actually an okay subs too, so far. I need to find where the last boy is. There he is. Now, upon exiting here, we have a frame perfect trick to do. Easy every time. Now, you might be wondering what I'm referring to here. So what I just set up is something called a zombie state. If you exit a level, there is a 1 frame discrepancy between exiting a level and a game, or between pausing and a game considering you dead. So if you pause exactly on that 1 frame, and then you exit a level right when you're dying, you end up getting this zombie state. And the special thing about this state is that you cannot change states between like swimming and being on ground, allowing for stuff like this. We're going to quick sneak up on this egg. Make sure we collect it from out of bounds. If I skip that cutscene, it will screw up. And we go down into Bentley. Because, fun fact, every portal in this game is hidden underneath the level. A lot of the Spyro games are very, very glitchy and broken. So yeah. Except for the first one.
If you use
Hero's Tail also has it, yeah. Hero's Tail is the way to scale up walls. You can just kind of climb anything. Yeah, zombie-like things in the original, in the very first game, are very strange. What am I doing? I need to show off the best proxy in the game. We like to call that little ditty world record proxy. Heck. Oh, it does have infinite jumping. I actually know if it was that to that level.
thanks, bro.
I'm sure they checked for a bunch of this kind of thing. It's just, this is back in the olden days, and QA testers weren't the, yeah, stuff like this shouldn't exist in the first place as well. Now let's see if I can get the hardest proxy in the round. Yo. Sick. Getting that actually saves, like, I think it's like 30 seconds, 30 to 40. So that's cool. I'm happy I got that.
It looks like this.
No, not really.
Hey.
I don't think they would. Alright. Now it's time for crack monkey movement. Oh, actually it's time for me to get frame perfect pause.
Hey, Spyro.
I wanted to show off this movement though. Agent 9 is a it's a very well-designed character in terms of how you move. So if you keep swapping the strafing over and over, you can keep increasing your speed. Nah, I think showing off this movement's a little bit better than Agent Spyro. You'll see Agent Spyro during the 117 run anyway, Phoenix. Like, you're guaranteed to see it there, so there's no reason for me to show it off.
Thanks for what.
It's only been 3. Yeah, there's a lot of people asleep right now. Ugh. That was bad. Welcome to probably the worst, or one of the worst challenges in the game. Evening Lake overall is pretty bad when it comes to eggs. Luckily, I just got some of the best AI, so that was neat. Are we doing this? Are we doing this now? Is this happening? That was a set of twin dragons. That... What? I don't need to be low in health. Don't do this to me. Definitely need to go back and retime that in the future. That was probably a best segment. No, I'm not on world record pace. This run is terrible. Insomniac devs are fantastic to the speedrunning community. They offer us to show off their games at like their actual headquarters. Can this? Okay. Okay, whatever. We need to try this again. Oh yeah, rat games aren't glitchy at all. Dude, I've gotten so bad at that movement for some reason, even though it's extremely simple. Come on, man. Oh my... Yeah, I got the swag movement there. No. More often than not, when the question is that intentional gets popped up, it's usually a no. It's usually not intentional. I have no idea if that's a best seg faulty. I would need to check later. Welcome to probably the worst challenge in the game. Yes, it is the worst challenge, Toto. This is called pressing square and hoping the game doesn't mess with you.
should go back and this time it'll be a 3-round match, and when you win, don't let him send you off with a stupid egg.
I'll be able to check soon. I have my splits open. I'm just not, I didn't start the timer. It was just in case I didn't remember my level order. Ah. I mean, after those dragons earlier, I don't know, man. Dragons in Reignited Trilogy are way worse. Okay, then I got a best egg. And no, I haven't gotten a best egg in that sense. Not getting super good luck here. Or more of I'm not really dealing with him well enough. There's a really dumb thing with this challenge that is a hidden stamina meter. So every once in a while, you'll just hit the square button and nothing will happen. Overall, it's annoying. It's quite annoying. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It was a 333? Oh my god. That's an insane best seg. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry if that laugh was really loud, by the way. Wait, that was a 333 is like a decent time when it comes. Oh my goodness.
I challenge.
I'm going to need to actually time it for myself later. Now I'm actually I think I'm one of the few Spyro runners that actually likes this challenge. What? Whatever. We're fine.
Well done.
Yeah, no, I was just going to retime it myself later, Faulty. It's not that I don't trust your timing, it's just that I probably have different timing than what your thought is. No, Red originated in Hero's Tale 5 years after this game came out. Yeah, no, I got a best egg there by like over a minute then, probably. Something like that.
That's it. I've had enough.
Welcome everyone back to RNG.
This might be.
I hope you enjoyed your brief reprieve while we dealt with some cats. But now we're back to the real world where everything is random. And I am getting very bad luck. There we go. So the thing about this challenge is that you have these red ammo, these red rockets, which you get 50 machine gun style shots. And then you have these green rockets, which is 1 homing shot. And these both deal 1 damage to them each. So obviously, do the math, 50 is greater than 1. Therefore, it is better to get reds. Next up, we got another Sparks level. Or we got another. The math does check out. I know my inequalities. We have an interesting little out of bounds during this area as well. Be using that to skip straight to the end. Right off this corner here. Good boss. Very speedy. Now, since I don't trust myself, I'm actually going to grab this power up here. This power up gives you 1 extra hit point. Considering that I have no lives, I'm about to go against the final boss. I kind of want the extra health right now.
Spyro,
Just going to clean up, grab a couple of eggs, and then we will be entering the final boss. Just so we can set up a couple of more eggs in the homeworld as we maneuver around everywhere. Oops. Was not supposed to do that. Was supposed to go out of bounds there. Not getting extended sparks. I don't need it. Did not need extended sparks. Gems don't matter in this category. I'm already done with all of my payments. So this fight, despite seeming very random and very RNG heavy, has actually a very, very intricate science to it, which I don't really know how to do, so this practically will be random for me. But there are a lot of specific events that you're able to add up with each other in this fight to make this fight quite consistent. But it takes a lot of practice to get all of that down. Regardless, I might be able to get some vehicle skips if I'm lucky. So far, it's not really looking too promising. Yeah, you could listen to Jeremy talk about this fight for 100 years. Also, nice RNG. I just squandered it. I was not supposed to get a tank there. It saves a lot of time. It would also take that long to explain. Excuse me, I hit you. I do believe that I did hit you. I mean, the just because I am just because I don't know what I'm doing, it essentially is random for me. If I did know what I was doing, if I knew exactly how it was set up and everything like that, I wouldn't consider it RNG. It's more of just like, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. So there's an egg sitting there now on the ground. That was originally the thief egg. And the reason why it's no longer a thief egg and is just sitting there is because there's someone else that has occupied the bridge at this point, who we will be attending to right now.
Don't worry.
Yeah, naive gaming. Got a couple things in this level that I can show off that are kind of neat. I'll go out of my way for one of them. It doesn't really lose like any time as long as I do it well. First of all, neat proxy. Well, some of it is RNG. Like some of like the vehicle placements and stuff is RNG, but other bits of it are a science. As long as you like, if you do stuff fairly consistent every time, it's down to specific spawns that change things. But when you're not consistent, it kind of screws things up. That sounds like a cracked copy of the game.
I've been training. Just watch out for the shark riders. They're carrying the latest
Like a pirated copy of the game. Only pirated copies would reset the game at the final boss. And if you did have an official version of the game, it kind of got messed up. Yes, timing ends on the 149th egg.
Right on. Go.
And that will be Harbor Speedway. It's Harbor Speedway Hunter Egg. Wow, I can't aim right now. I also got hit by some of the JX9 underwater tracking ammunition, which you shouldn't do. It stings a little bit. Mostly my pride. This is also stinging my pride.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be a corrupted version of the game if the sorceress would reset the entire game. That is literally just either you just got scratched in a very specific way or you had a non-legal copy. Oh wait, what am I doing? Epic. I didn't get enough height. I'll go for the wall glide then. Nice. My brain wasn't working there. We're just grabbing this one. Pretty sure you're supposed to end on this egg. Actually, I'm like almost positive. Ideally, with that proxy, it's supposed to get more height. Usually I do. That was actually an oddly low one. Yep, that would be it then. This game has some really weird copyright protection, and there are quite a few videos out there on it. Very interesting stuff. Would definitely recommend looking it up. I can't video game. Can't remember what I'm doing. Next up is the dedicated level for the last side character, Agent 9. Meaning you're going to be seeing a lot of me whizzing around everywhere in very zigzaggy patterns. Hopefully. If it goes right.
What was that?
Yeah, that was good. I had some hot aim there.
A vast number.
So a lot of this is hoping that you're able to properly shoot at things without properly aiming at them. There's an enemy that spawned. Like an extra one. Do that under the radar. I was surprised about that. I shouldn't be messing around like that. I should just be talking to him. So as I mentioned before, with Agent 9, you're able to quickly switch between strafing in the left and right direction, and compounding that over and over is able to increase your forward speed value. I'm not super sure the reason why it works. It just does.
Just as I.
Allows for you to just keep increasing your speed via strafing. It's also very hard to control at times. What the heck? Just die.
Nice one. Now I can swim.
Apparently missed one over here. Up here? No, he's gotta be back here. Nice.
The labs.
See if I get the proper setup right here. Let's hope that's the right spot to stand. This is there's a kind of interesting thing with this egg that it doesn't happen with any other egg in this game, at least on the first go through. And it's that if you're standing in just the right spot, and I wasn't, it will tell you that you already had the egg, despite the fact that it's the first time you grabbed the egg. And the reasoning for that is, if you're standing in the right spot, the game will give you the egg. The game will then start the cutscene, which takes you out of the egg, like the egg grabbing animation, and then it will re-give you the egg. The game's like, oh, he already did this egg cutscene, so therefore he must have already gotten the egg. I'm dumb. I don't know why it was taking the professor so long. Not that we know of.
Thank you.
Because like you're already in the egg spawning or like you're already in the egg spawning cutscene, and you can't really pause during those. Yeah, that. So yeah, you're not really able to pause. Right, there's a trick coming up here that I can only go for twice. That is a I think we still call it jumpy swim. I think it's considered that. You do it off of the gem that this guy spawns. You do it while it's pushing you away. You fly, or you move towards it, and you hold square, and the game just pushes you up above. Now, the reason why you can only do it twice is because it doesn't work at... Once the gem despawns, the gem will have a slightly different rotation when it respawns, making it impossible to do it for a good while until it loops back around.
Good.
So nothing super special with this challenge. We got spin jumps. Got that, that's about it. For anyone that had difficulties with this challenge when they were a kid, though, due to like the lack of moles or something along those lines, good news for you. There's a spot back here. Yeah, it's, or at least it's significantly harder. I've never been able to get it for like a good couple minutes if I end up failing it during the first despawn. So yeah, this spot in particular, these four spots right here, they consistently and very frequently spawn moles. You're just able to go back and forth between all of these and finish the challenge reasonably quick.
Well done.
So we got 2 eggs left in this level. There's the end level egg, which, by the way, this guy's talking range is absolutely gargantuan.
Here, you can have...
The magic triangle diamond method. Dang. I was hoping I could show that off. That's a very hard proxy. If you get that one, you can actually skip the whole slide. And we have 2 main levels left, a Sparks area left, and a Speedway. It's not too much to go. Let's see if I can get this quickly. I was very close. Almost got fast door. That wasn't too bad though. Last Agent 9 area. Say goodbye to Crack Monkey.
Behind.
He's just going to be going up the wall real quick. So the notable thing about this level is that all of like these eggs and challenges actually have riddles that we need to answer. Luckily, the first ones you can spam a specific D-pad direction, as well as mashing the X button to be able to properly solve them. Also, that was a slide skip. There's a semi-specific spot that you jump from, and you can pretty consistently just skip the entire slide from it. The last two eggs we have here are tanks. Which are, I would imagine, some of the more notorious challenges back when casually playing through this game. When you first learn to speedrun this game, these are definitely very difficult, or at least the second one in particular.
Very impressive. That is correct. Good luck in the demolition hovercraft competition. Well. You may now. My. Such a brave reptile you are. But you'll need much more than bravery to win the championship.
And I will definitely accept that, thanks to. All of my attempts in the past were very rough around the edges, so that was actually quite smooth, comparatively. One last level, one last main level. You got Dino Mines, which has a very interesting set of tricks right at the beginning. We'll be doing something called a window jump, and followed by a squeeze proxy off of the axle of a wagon to send us directly to the end of the level. Angle off the window is a little weird. Oops. There we go. There we go. End of the level.
Jump.
Still need to go back and get the rest of the eggs, though.
One of them dying.
This run might actually go under estimate. It's going to be close. I'm just kind of surprised overall. I think it was pretty much entirely saved by that fireworks factory.
That one.
Oh, I was wrong about it being the last Agent 9 section. This is actually the last Agent 9 section. It's the most intense Agent 9 section. This is the gallery shooter, where everything spawns the same every time. Actually, this might not go underestimate now that I'm looking at it again. I kind of forget how long the gallery shooter can be. I was expecting it to be close, if not a bit over, so... Oh well, I should have put a 215. Too late for that now. Usually I can pretty confidently say that I can get under a 212 in this, but I've been playing a lot of Reignited Trilogy, and it screws up my, screws up a lot of my movement in this game. What? Did that not hit him? Got one last egg to grab real quick in this area. Yo, nice camera. With the second to last level coming up of this run, got one egg left to grab here, and then we're entering Bugbot Factory. A very quick Sparks level.
Just before you...
So yeah, once again, through mashing one of the strafe buttons, we can just go straight up the wall and not worry about this entire Sparks area. I'm missing an egg. I missed one of midday credits. Hold on.
That last egg...
Was it the thief? I think I missed the thief. I missed the thief. Alright, we good now. There. All right. Where was I? Last level. 3 eggs left. We got time trial. We got a stupid race, and then we get to look at Hunter's butt for a minute and a half. I hope you're ready. Heck. Big triangle. Also, hey Bucci. Glad you tuned in for my train wreck. We're getting there. Yeah, a little bit more to go. So I hope I've completely swayed everyone, absolutely everyone, to learn this category. If not because I am absolute trash, then because it's a cool category. Like, no memes, this category is actually, like, pretty damn sick. It's just very... It's very difficult. It's filled with a lot of tricks in it. And over the period of 2 hours, that can really weigh on you. It's a bad 117. It's a good 100 egg. And it's a good 117. It's a nice mix in there. One question while we're here, what is that? Don't pause. Wait. Race got impossible. What do you mean by got impossible? Like you couldn't get the egg? Or... That's true. You could just play 100 egg. One thing that I know that can lock you out of eggs in this game is if you end up exiting the level before you collect the egg. You can stop yourself from being able to get it. It's the way that we end up exiting the areas from hunter sections early. Oh, that's because the it's because the birds actually have adaptive difficulty. This entire game has adaptive difficulty.
Where do these...
Alright, guys. Big triangle hours. Triangles and pentagons. Anybody got a pentagon fetish? well, I'll be finishing up in like 30, 45 seconds now. Just as a warning. A bit less, in fact. Okay, and time is right about now. Time. Ah, that's fine. Thanks for the GGs, guys. And thank you for putting up with me for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm sorry that was overestimate. I'll make it up for you by getting world record tomorrow in 117. No promises. I'm planning it though. I'm planning on it. Anyway, we're a bit behind schedule. I should probably wrap this up quick. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for the 40 orb. That's a race coming up between Superdog and V-Snake. And then after that, we got some more Spyro 3 coming up, so stay tuned.